Hey guys, we have a super fun topic for today, and we're talking about resumes. So get excited because resumes are important. So I've written a blog post on resumes before and the importance of having a yoga teacher resume. If you disagree with me about having a yoga teacher resume, that's fine. This video is probably not for you though, so we'll see you in a different section. I think that having a resume for your yoga teaching is really, really important. Most of us have a resume that we made in, at the very least, that high school class that everyone had to take where you had to sell yourself, even though at that point you didn't really have much to sell. And if not that, probably from college or from applying for your first couple of jobs, just depending on where you're at with your career. I actually have a couple of different resumes because my background is a little bit varied. I have a resume for customer service jobs like serving, retail, working at Lululemon, and that highlights everything I've ever done that's been in the customer service sector. I also have a resume that highlights more of my professional corporate experience. So it has my business degree on it and all of the different internships and summer jobs I did with that. And then it also has my 2 years of corporate experience working a quote unquote big girl job. So that's another thing that I have. And then I have a yoga teacher resume. And the thing that sets my yoga teacher resume apart is that it's a little bit more fun. It's got photos of me on it, it's got a cool little bio about me, about my teaching beliefs. And then it highlights my trainings, my experience, and things that are also relevant to yoga teaching. And it's changed as I've gotten more teaching experience. So the first thing I want to talk about is a couple key things you should have on your yoga teacher resume. So one, yoga teaching is not the corporate world. It is a whole different industry and it's really different from getting a job elsewhere. People are looking for your unique person, your unique brand to shine through. So that's the first thing I would think about when you're creating a yoga teacher resume. Is how is Amanda Kingsmith going to shine through in this resume? Other jobs are looking for keywords like how many years in HR do you have? How many years of marketing experience do you have? How many years have you worked in a cubicle? What other jobs have you worked for? What skills do you have? Of course, skills are important, but with a yoga teaching job, and so much more about what can you offer as a yoga teacher to the studio. And that's really, really about your personal offerings. So have something unique and creative that's going to come through. Second, include photos, make it a fun design. How boring is it to open up a document that's just like, blah, 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 I did all this, blah, blah, blah. There's so many other areas of our lives where we can be like, blah, blah, blah. It's not yoga teaching. So have a couple of fun photos, maybe a headshot, maybe a really cool, good quality yoga pose photo. I think I have 3 or 4 on my resume. And if you're in the course, you'll get a copy of that plus some templates for yourself. Otherwise, you can reach out to me. I'm happy to help you with your resume. That is a service that I'm happy to help with. And thinking about what colors serve you. So in the one of the last videos slash episodes of the podcast, we talked about colors and branding. So hopefully at this point you have an idea of that. If that hasn't come along quite yet, that's okay. It's not a big deal. You don't have to have everything figured out right now, but having some idea of what you want your resume to look like, maybe choosing your favorite color, doing a border or like a fun text or something like that. So making it eye-catching. So yoga studio owners get a ton of crap email, a lot of like poorly written emails asking for things. And I know this from being a studio manager for 2.5 years. There's a lot of like crap stuff to deal with in a yoga inbox. And the last thing that I want to look at is a crappy looking resume. So send a beautiful looking resume, something that really articulates who you are. Have a section on there that outlines your teaching beliefs. In the last section, we talked about selling yourself and how it's important to make sure that you jive somewhere where you're selling yourself to. And I think that, obviously that's important for this section too, but don't change your offerings for the studio that you're applying to. I think your yoga teacher resume should really just highlight who you are as a yoga teacher and what you offer. So putting your yoga teaching philosophy, and then including your trainings. So any trainings you've done, weekend workshops you've done, 200-hour, 300-hour, 500-hour, whatever you've done, prenatal, include it all. Show people what you have done to get educated. Finally, of course, your experience. And if you're a new yoga teacher, I know this can be a little bit challenging. I would put anything you've done at that point. If you have taught a practice class in your teacher training, if you have done karma classes, if you've taught for free, if you've taught for haircuts, any experience that you have, put it on there. Obviously, this becomes a little bit more challenging the more experience you have. And if you're making your first resume after 10 years of teaching, you're probably not going to put all of that stuff in. You probably put, 10 plus years of teaching and highlight the studios that you've taught at the most, the ones that mean the most to you, the ones that you would gather references from. If you have space on your resume, so maybe you're a newer teacher and you've exchanged a haircut or you've taught your group of friends, see if one of them will give you a testimonial, something that says, Amanda's a new teacher, but she's so attentive to her students. It seems like because hasn't taught before, she really pays attention to everything that's going on in class. Or Amanda is a great yoga teacher. She really focuses on ensuring that everyone in the class feels comfortable from beginners to advanced and that there's always variations for everyone. Whatever. Don't make it up, please. But ask your friends, ask your family, ask anyone that you've taught for, if there's space in your resume to do a testimonial for you. And finally, include contact information. So you want to have an ability for a yoga studio manager or a yoga studio owner to be able to pick up the phone and give you a call or shoot you back an email or find you online. Include your social media profiles if you've gotten that far. And I know we haven't talked about that in this course yet, but any way that people can reach you, make sure it's up to date and it's accurate, and then people can get you. Final word for the wise is make sure that you send your teaching resume as a PDF. Don't send it as a Word document. That means somebody could go in and change things. You just don't want to deal with that happening. It's not likely to happen. People are usually pretty good, especially in the yoga industry, but just you don't want people to have a editable copy of your resume. So send a PDF. It looks cleaner. It ensures that you can check it and make sure it shows up the way you want. Make sure it's one page, super concise, super to the point, really pretty, colors that match your brand, or if you don't have a brand/logo, colors that represent yourself, and a way to contact you, find out more about you, and all of that. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know, and I will see you in the next section. Bye.